What's up, Internet? What's going on? I know it's a little bit loud in here. We're going to have to deal with that a little bit. There isn't much I can do about it right now because I have to leave everything turned on. But this here is the 60-gallon cube, and I'm happy to say it's at least cycled and set up and running. And I figured I should do a little overview of what's in it, just so people know what's going on and what's happening with it. So the whole reason for setting up this aquarium right here was to move the Gardneri Killies that I have. They were getting a little too aggressive for the 240 that's right over there, and if I was going to put a large group of schooling fish, which I'm going to do, into the 240, these guys need a kind of little forever home kind of situation. I wouldn't say that they're necessarily a bad community fish, but the piscigramas, the shrimp, the other things that I have going on in the 240 back there, it's not exactly the perfect spot for them to be in, you know? So I wanted to set them up with a tank that they would have their own space to live in, their own little escape to be in here, and if they're going to be breeding, to at least be breeding in a tank where I know 100% of like what baby fish are showing up and stuff like that, and then they'd be able to just hang out in here and have their own zone. Unfortunately, I lost one of these the other day. It somehow jumped out of the 240, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me how it got out, but it did happen, and so now we're down to 2 males and 3 females, which, you know, realistically is kind of a better setup anyhow, to have more females to males and kind of spread out the breeding aggression from the males anyhow. So kind of worked out in a really sad way, but kind of worked out, I guess. This 60-gallon is actually an acrylic tank, has this nice rounded lip at the top, has an overflow in the back left corner, which actually is a siphon overflow. And there's some older videos where I actually went over the plumbing and stuff like that. I'll be showing you guys more of the plumbing in the next couple weeks underneath this aquarium. Right now it just has a sump that is just circulating water and biomedia. So I'm not even filtering any of the fines out of this aquarium at this point in time. It's just churning over water and circulating with a heater and the return pump down there. So there's not a whole lot to look at down below, but I will be building a new sump for this, so that video will be coming out at some point in time, so I would definitely stay tuned for that if that's something that you're interested in. The lights that we have on this are the Fluval Fresh and Plant 2.0, and this actually is only the 24-inch unit. It's actually surprisingly bright, and it's actually providing enough light for this aquarium so that my plants are doing pretty well. A quick review on the plants that are in here. These little bits that are down here, why don't I bring you down in for a closer look. Oh, what's that? That's the wrong aquarium. There we go. So these plants that are right down here is some stargrass that was replanted from the 240 over here. This actually came out of this aquarium. Some of the trimmings went over into here. So that's all that little stargrass area. That'll fill in nicely. We have some crypt luteas here, which are going to kind of grow up nice and tall to kind of fit in with these big tall rocks I got going on in here. Those big tall rocks are some basalt that we actually got from a local rock yard a little while ago. You guys can find that video somewhere in the depths of the internet, right? The wood on the very right is actually some Mopani root that I had left over from something, I don't know when, but I thought it was kind of a different take to put it, some vertical Mopani up here in the right-hand corner. And then in the back, we've got pieces of manzanita that I actually made into a little manzanita display that's got some needle leaf java fern at the base and Fizzidins glued on it. It wasn't doing that fantastically over in the 150, mainly because the positions of it there, the Fizzidins was either getting too much light or not enough light. So I think it's good to have moved it here. We also have some Anubias nana in the back, and some Anubias nana up there, which actually is starting to grow a little bit of algae. So I'm gonna probably have to take those out and give them a little toothbrush treatment, if you know what I'm saying. So we'll have to scrub those off a little bit, but not a big deal. We've also got some Rhodes-folia right here. Is actually that red plant right up in here. It's gonna grow up and definitely give us some highlight color. I don't know that I would say that I'm 100% happy with the scape of this aquarium or anything like that, but it's done, it's cycled, and it's running, and we actually have the fish in here now. So I'm happy to say that that means I can at least mark this off the to-do list for a little bit, even though we have plants melting off and stuff like that. It will work out in the long run for sure. The substrates that we have in here are actually the Fluval stratum and the fluorite black mixed together. It's kind of contrasting, and then I realized, that because even though I was working on some contrasting of black and the sort of charcoal color of the fluorite, that it didn't really work out to be that big of a deal, because this is all going to grow in and I'm not really going to see the substrate all that much. So I don't think that's a big deal, but either way, I think it's going to work out in the long run. If you have any questions or anything like that, just go ahead and comment down below and that kind of stuff. If you are interested in some more longer conversations with myself, I do a live stream on this channel regularly, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. What is it, -8 GMT or 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time is where I live in the Pacific Standard Time. And we do those Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You should come check that out. Or you can come check out The Real Fish Talk with myself and Corey from the Aquarium Co-op, and that's on Tuesdays at 3 o'clock and other to be determined times. So, but that's what's going on with the 60-gallon. If you have any questions, I probably left out a bunch of stuff. So feel free to comment down below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Alright guys, well that's the 60-gallon cube that is finally running. So yeah, it's a bit of an overview, but I probably missed a bunch of stuff. Alright, later.